What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Daily Sean. For those of you who've been here before, my name is Sean. I do a daily video on something related to nursing. No rhyme or reason, probably not going to change. Tonight's video is a one-taker. No editing. No particular topic either. This is more of a response video and a challenge video. I think we're on to episode 67. So last night's episode, I did a video on 5 random tips for the first knock shift a nurse would work. It was in response to a fan question. It was a student or a new nurse who was embarking on the graveyard shift for the first time and wanted some helpful tips. Gave some random tips. And apparently, the verbiage I used in my description, as well as a reference I made, sort of offended some of our knock shift nurses from our tribe. Yes, I'm still calling our little my page, the fan page, I'm still calling it a tribe. I don't know if I can call it a community yet, although we're getting up there in the numbers, so let me know when you think we can call this a community, because I think we're close. Because, I don't know about you, but this community, this tribe, is very interactive, which I freaking love. So, but I digress, like I always do. Some of the knock shift nurses, and it was a handful, that took offense, or I might have tripped a trigger or picked at a nail, however you'd like to describe it. It was a little thorn in their side. I don't know, but it seemed to it seemed to spark some debate, or at least it sparked them enough to defend the knock shift. Defend the knock shift, that the overnight shift is not easier than a day shift, and that contrary to popular belief, their words not mine, contrary to popular belief, patients don't sleep on the night shift. And I wanted to give a response because, well, it's my page and I'm going to damn well respond. I responded to a couple of these comments earlier in the day before I left for work early this morning. And a couple more comments were made during the day. Couldn't get to them. Busy day. Ended up doing a lot of things at work and then was tied up until late this evening. And I might have passionately responded to the first couple comments. Maybe inappropriately, and I apologize for that. Maybe I was a little reflexive in my responses. The reason why I was so passionate is because I know what it's like to work the night shift. I didn't share all that information because I didn't think it was relevant. That I worked the night shift for years. I flip-flopped for years. As a travel nurse, I did night shift. When I flip-flop, I worked more nights than days. I know the struggles of working the night shift. So, for anyone to think that I don't appreciate or don't understand the difficulties of working the night shift, you're sorely mistaken. And I apologize if that was maybe a little vague, or if my verbiage gave the inclination that I thought that the night shift had it easier, or that I thought that all patients were sleeping at night, because it's quite the contrary. Working in the ICU, I know better that patients don't sleep at night. But then again, we also keep them up all night. So, that was my little response. I had to get that off my chest. I worked nights so long that I had to come off nights because it was medically unsafe for me. I almost wrecked my car 3 times driving home. So I came off the night shift because it was a tad bit safer for me. So I have all the respect in the world for the night shift. In fact, I think they have a much tougher job for the most part. Which leads me into the second part of this video. First part was a response. Check. Response done. The second part of this video is a challenge. I am imposing a challenge. I thought, it seems that we as nurses love to get defensive when we feel that someone is not appreciating us. Which is actually quite often. I'm in the same boat. I can empathize. We get shit on a lot, and we have to defend ourselves. As nurses, we become very aggressive, very autonomous, very independent, and very proud of our jobs. So when we feel that someone is treading on our toes or neglecting to appreciate us, yeah, it's kind of like, backing baby into a corner. You're going to come out swinging. So I can appreciate that because I do it too. So I thought, let's spin it a little bit. It's easy to complain. It's easy to bitch. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to bark back when feeling threatened. What's really hard is to express appreciation for someone other than yourself. We as nurses suck at it. We really suck at appreciating each other. We love to point fingers. Passive aggressiveness is running rampant. Bullying is so freaking thick these days that it's sickening to my stomach. And I'm sort of fed up with it. So as a nurse practitioner, as a unannounced leader in our profession, and a self-proclaimed mentor, I thought, why not take it to the page, take it to the tribe, take it to the community, and lay down a challenge. Here's your challenge. I would like everybody that sees this video to respond in the comments below. I want you to tell me, in your opinion, who has the toughest job in our profession. And there's a few ground rules. You first of all can't say yourself. You can't nominate yourself. And you can't nominate a coworker. So you have to think long and hard about someone that you either have seen before, heard of. Okay, when I say coworker, I mean that works on the same unit as you. So you can't say a coworker that you work side by side with. You can say someone that works in the facility with you. That's okay. That's free reign there. But I want you to actually put your thinking cap on, and I want you to tell the community who you think has the toughest job as a nurse right now. Maybe it's a certain position, maybe it's a certain shift, maybe it's a certain specialty area, maybe it's a certain discipline in nursing. Take your pick. If you've been doing this long enough, it should come very easily, and it should be like that you have this thought in your brain and the forefront of your mind of that is the person who has the hardest job in our profession. I didn't say toughest. I said hardest job. Every nurse's job is tough. It's the nature of the game. But who has the hardest job? Whose job do you look at, have seen, heard of, know of, that you go, wow, that's tough. I don't know how they do that. I don't know if I could do that job. Who has the hardest job? I'll go first. One of the toughest jobs that I think is out there in our profession is the job of the supervisor. The supervisor, the AOD, the house supervisor, I don't know, everybody has a different term for it, and the many hospitals I've worked, it's been called something different. But they're the bed coordinator / supervisor. They're the guy, they are the, ooh, I said guy, so sorry. They are the nurse, I don't know why I say guy, because all the supervisors I know are females. Weird. It's like a Freudian slip. Anyway, supervisors, I believe, have the toughest job. I did that job for like 3.5, 4 months, and it was one of the toughest jobs I ever had because you get crapped on nonstop. You are to blame for everything. Physically, probably not the most demanding job because you're not really doing bedside care. At least you shouldn't be because you're a supervisor. But doesn't mean that supervisors don't do bedside care. But they get crapped on nonstop. They are to blame for all the bad things that happen on shift. They also get all the call-offs. They get all the patient complaints. They get all of the family complaints. They're the ones that the providers blame when they don't have a bed in a certain area of the hospital. I mean, they really do. They are the, I don't even know what term I want to use. They're the turd herders, man. I swear, it's a horrible job. And I don't think we appreciate them enough in any way. Because they do their job day in and day out. Okay, not all of them do their job the best way, because some of them are really crabby about it, but I think I'd be crabby too. Most of them do their jobs with no complaints, yet all they do is get shit on. So I think a supervisor is one of those jobs that is one of the toughest out there. Your turn. Who do you think has the toughest job? This was a long video. Sorry. Unedited. Deal with it. Hopefully you've made it this far. If you have, can't wait to hear your comments. Can't wait to see your comments. Maybe you'll be bold enough. Maybe you'll be bold enough to place a video. I doubt you have the guts to do that, though. Kidding! Leave a comment down below. You know I love your comments. Your comments are my caffeine. Thumbs up is always appreciated. And as always, check your own pulse first.